Okay. Hi, this is Keiko from Brooklyn Shoe Space. Shoe Talks with Ritika, who has Brooklyn Bebe. Sorry I'm a little late today. I have help today from Bonnie, Ben, Lorna's here. I'm actually borrowing Lorna's phone. Thanks to Lorna. This is all the trash we're putting out. We feel so bad. But hi. Our space is finally kind of empty. So here we go. I have to invite Brooklyn Bebe. Let me see if she can join me.
Are you gonna do your thing?
Yes. Let's eat. Too. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Trey. Hi, Keiko-san. Sorry. I'm supposed to wear my mask when I'm on the sidewalk. Hey, Ian. Sorry. So I thought yesterday, the day before was gonna be the last day at the shoe space, but actually gonna be, how does the space look? Today's our last day. I'm actually literally, we're closing up, cleaning up a little bit, and then we're gonna have lunch, tidy up, and I'm gonna give the keys to the landlord today. We have until end of May actually, but I thought I'll just do it. Okay, Brooklyn Bebe is here. Hi.
Oh.
Good. How's it going? Sorry, Costa came and I forgot to give him some more things.
Oh, well, if it wasn't too big, would you mind taking it with you?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Sure, sounds good.
Connect everyone. I'm gonna miss the space.
Yes, I know. This is our official goodbye, kind of.
Oh,
Oh, it was a big space.
it looks so empty now. I remember the first time we came to look at it together. Do you remember? Augusta was very
Yeah,
small.
I remember. But now we look at it and it doesn't look as big as, I don't know, it doesn't look as big somehow. But it is big. It is a big space. We had a lot of stuff. And I thought it's going to be half the truck today. It's the second round and it's actually really full still.
Well, that's just the way it is when with moving. You anticipate this, and then you end up instead of the studio, you need a one bedroom.
Right.
Of New York.
How have you been during quarantine?
I've been really busy with a lot of different projects. I'm doing kind of a interesting project that I'll tell everybody about. Well, not yet, but it's not to do with shoes whatsoever.
Oh, really? What are you doing? Wait, you can't tell anybody yet.
No,
Okay.
we're kind of working on it. It's sort of like a platform, but I think it can help a lot. We think it can help a lot of people.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of these amazing developer friends of ours who had this great idea. So we're kind of working on that.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I think it'll be really, really interesting. Hi, Yuji. Sorry, everybody over the IGTV. Wait, Yuji, let me see you again.
He's going to the bar. He's super sweaty. Everybody's super sweaty.
Same here.
Yeah. So yeah, during lockdown, you've been kind of productive. Yeah.
I've been productive. Well, I was hoping to come to the space, and we would continue what we had been doing since I'd been a member from almost the beginning, along with he basically grew up in the space, from like being a little 2-year-old to now he's 8. So I guess it's a beginning and it's an ending, I guess, for all of us.
Yeah.
But I think the community that you built and all the people that we've met and how shoemaking has sort of evolved over the last 6 years has been kind of an amazing trajectory.
Yeah, it'll keep on going.
Exactly.
And you upstate. Sorry, I don't know if it's like so public, but like the circle is going bigger. You know, it's not just
Yeah.
men,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like, yeah, exactly. It's like a concentric circle, you know, I mean, or it's like a ripple tide effect. And I
Yeah.
think one of the reasons I sort of started, so, well, this was, you know, when schools started closing up, our schools closed up really early. We are an amazing principal, and she pivoted almost, you know, before the pandemic sort of officially started. And
Oh,
so she had us on remote Zooming like within 2 or 3 days,
wow.
way before the New York City school systems really had started,
Right.
you know, get
Right.
on, or like school closing or school not happening. So that was fantastic. But then almost because of the abruptness,
Uh-huh.
all of that happened. I think, you know, I started hearing from like some moms that were going to the school, and a lot of the kids are from Brooklyn and from New York City that have moved to upstate the last year or two, and they were having really like a hard time processing such a huge monumental change, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everybody has having a hard time, I feel like. But then, you know, you see, and it actually feels like some people are like businesses too. So I don't know extremes, you know. I don't know how to digest it.
I think it's a lot to digest. I think it's going to take a while, you know, for things to evolve. Some people, unfortunately, may or may not make it, and others will thrive in it. You know, so we'll kind of see. But it's almost. I think the positives will be that people who are always on Zoom or always on a computer, they'll want to make things,
Right.
you know, or try to do something with their hands that is not tapping on a computer. So I
Right.
think that's the good takeaway from maybe all of this.
Right.
And
So
the
I guess
less, sorry, go ahead.
shoe related that you're doing actually. Do
I
you have
am.
your studio? Are you doing it right now? Kind
Well,
of.
so the studio is kind of happening. We're waiting for Central Hudson to connect us.
Okay.
So we had this amazing electrician who came in, kind of heard like, you know, was like making these little shoe kits for children by hand, and he kind of felt sorry for me. So he and he has a little kid, and unfortunately his family members, some of them were affected. He lost two family members in his immediate circle from COVID recently.
Oh, that's not good.
So yeah, it was not good. And he has family, and we know unfortunately an entire family from 12-year-old to the mom and dad who actually all had COVID. And that was in March, middle of end of March.
Oh,
I started this, so I decided that, you know, I'm staying at home along with Agustia, and I need him to do something. And I was hearing back from some of the moms that, you know, the kids are having a hard time sort of adjusting to all of a sudden being alone, especially like a lot of the single children, you know, who don't have siblings. And
right.
the parents are always working on the Zoom thing. So I decided that maybe I'll make some really simplified shoe kits, the shoe making kits. And that's something that, you know, we were doing at the space, we were teaching them live, but
Yeah.
this sort of kind of changed. So one of the local tanneries in the state, actually, I called back in April and I said, hey, I would love to get some material because you're local. But I need it to be really super discounted because I'm just going to donate these.
Yeah.
And Townsend Tannery was amazing. They jumped on, and this woman in Allison said, you know, that sounds like a great project. So they gave me an amazing discount. And so I was able to buy like several hides for the children. And so we've been making, so Augusta and I have been making like simple little shoemaking kits, cutting them up by hand, which, you know, is very
Yeah.
painful,
Yeah.
punching lots of holes,
Uh-huh.
which has been a little bit tiring and repetitive. But, you know, the response has been good.
So you distribute by mail or
Well,
by,
like if the kids are far away, so you know, it was kind of like through the grapevine. Like it was like Augustia's idea. He's like, "Mom, do you think you can make shoes for my friends?" I said,
cool.
but I said, let's try something else. So this was kind of the idea that, you know, sort of he came up with, and he make stuff for my classmates at school. And then I heard some of the moms, you know, like the kids were having some difficulty with the change in this whole structure of life. So I have been actually taking them some to the kids, so like, you know, socially distant, far away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and some have like been mailed. Like one we mailed out to Washington D.C. You know, Noah was like the one who did it. He's very creative. He does knitting, cooking. He's 8.
Wow.
He's like very creative, and his parents are very cerebral, very math. You know, they're very analytical, like complete opposite. And so yesterday, we were talking, and the father is literally a rocket scientist. Like he works on like spaceships, and he said this is really he ended up like wanting to do, he said, I actually want to do this because it's so therapeutic because I
Yeah.
can't focus on anything but what I'm doing.
Right.
And that's the thing with making, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to focus, otherwise you get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
So,
know, so I think I think that was sort of like the idea, that I was, my goal is right now I think I can do up to 35 pairs all together and hand them out and send them out. So everything comes with it. So it costs me about all the materials, the owls, the needles, the threads, everything. So like parents don't have to think about like, oh, do I have to go buy this? Do I have to go buy that? So for our kids around here, we're just either having them like kind of figure out like us pick it up at school, or we're going over to their places and leaving them. Other kids are like in LA or other places. I'm mailing them out to them, and then
like Zoom party to do make or
so to do like the measurements. I had like all the kids, like the basic measurements with mom and dad's help, and that was sort of fun. I substituted like a piece of string if they didn't have like a measuring tape, just whatever was available, so I could get basic measurements. And I knew, of course, it wasn't going to be quite accurate because they're not
right.
make shoes. The children are the moms or dads. But I think it worked out. I asked parents to do the measurements,
Right.
keeping in mind that they're growing. And that's kind of how basic patterns and sort of sending those out. So that's I would love to actually, my goal would be fabulously amazing if I could get up to 100. So I was going to ask anybody who is a maker who has small remnants. It doesn't have to be huge pieces, but if they have remnants or they have like things they feel like, they can't do much with it because it's for an adult. If they would consider like sending it to me, like that it would go to great use, because then I can get to like 100 pairs, and that would be like more kids who would have the access.
Do you have like a little image or like a sample that you made?
Let's see. Well, the sample would just be this. Can you see it?
No.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, with the edge die and yeah, Okay.
That's very simple.
Uh-huh.
So I figured that would keep their attention span, keep them
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, the moccasins are a little too hard for them. And then what about like a chukka boot? Kind of like a little dirty boot.
This was, I thought, the simplest thing to do.
Yeah.
And they can wear. The idea was sort of like, they could wear it around the house or wear it to school, like when you take off your normal shoes, and especially for younger kids. So that was sort of the idea for all of us. We didn't realize it took such a long time to maybe get back to real school. Yeah, I had assumed that maybe it would be like 4 to 5 weeks, and maybe we would and all the kids would be wearing their things and sharing them at school. And now we don't know what that's going to be. But I think in the summer, I'm planning to maybe have kids here local, and sit on pallets and do pallet making. So the idea is, I think I've told some of them, I said, if you come off the pallet, it's like Jaws, you go in and it's like not a good thing. So then you can't, then you'll have to go home because it's not safe.
Right.
But that's kind of what I'm thinking for the summer. Kids come over and that are nearby and maybe make with me. And I'm going to have some of the teachers come over the summer.
Okay.
And
do it outside.
We have lots of space.
Yeah.
So, but that was sort of the idea. So I'm hoping like some of the people who are watching this may have materials that they'd like to donate, and that would all.
Okay. DM her. What do you also have your logo on those kits?
I have nothing in the kits because this was not a planned.
All right.
It was not a planned thing.
Right.
It was just sort of,
it's not a part of your collection or anything. Right.
You know what? I think I would like to have it as part of that would be like the one that I would hope people would want to donate. Either donate funds, material, part of the, let's say, brand, if that comes back to it. But that's when we get back to it. But that's something I think anytime, that people want to donate something like that to kids who can't afford materials. And that's kids, kids here, $30 here, and right now, so people don't have jobs,
Yeah, no, totally.
you
That's
know, or
nice. That's nice. What about so the logo? Do you have a story behind your logo?
oh, you mean the shoemaking, where is it? Somewhere here. The little girl stowing with a like a little toddler.
Oh,
Um,
wait. Did you change the logo?
well, no, for the shoemaking kit. So for the shoemaking, for like the moccasins and other things, I had started developing this graphic with a girl, a woman, this amazing artist I met, a young artist I met online, and my vision had always been that kids have less computer time, and more making time. You know that. I've always felt that way. I would always try to keep Augusta busy with hammering or making or doing something.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way. So that was sort of what I had thought about the graphic and the imaging for like the shoemaking part, the kit part of it, like a year, half, 2 years ago. But the idea was that, you just go make these little kits, hopefully with your friends, and just stay away from screen time, hopefully when we get back to this post-COVID world, I hope that's what people will do with their children, they'll do things. I think making in really in any field, whatever you do, I think it's so important. I think for the creative brain, especially young children,
Yeah.
I think so much being online is really, I think it's really hard on them, even though they can't express it emotionally or, verbally.
Yeah. Just time together. It's
I mean,
nice.
well, we've had people at this space. Remember the was it a NASA scientist we had one year? Remember 2 or 3 years ago? We had a student who worked at NASA. Do you remember that?
What shoe did
Oh, I don't remember the shoe, but I just remember.
you remember people they make?
Oh, well, yes. If I see the shoe, I might remember.
Yeah.
I remember he was someone who worked literally on rocket scientists, rockets. But he enjoyed making it so much, because that analytical, controlled mind works in a specific way, and then the part that is creative sometimes doesn't always get the
Right.
focus that it needs.
Right. I get. Yeah.
But you know that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But what about? So I want to talk about you. You're talking about everybody else, and I want to talk about you.
Okay.
So, how did you start your shoemaking, and what do you think you want to do with the Brooklyn shoes? Not Brooklyn shoe space. Brooklyn Baby brand. So after Corona as well. So let's go from like the past, current, and then future.
Okay. So I worked in the fashion industry for a long time, like you did. I worked at some amazing brands at Salvatore Ferragamo, which is really where I fell in love with shoes, men's shoes specifically. And I think the level of quality and workmanship, their highest shoes, was really something that appealed to me and, caught something for my heart. And I had an amazing boss, Andrew, who was able to sort of, explain his passion about shoes and making and how things are made well. And that into me, just by listening to him and by being with him and seeing things through his eyes. So I started was then. And that was really, I had just started working at Ferragamo the day 9/11 happened. I joined working in New York City, like my professional job, and that's when all that, I was in training on Fifth Avenue. And I think that was a lot of things that were happening at that same time. But at Ferragamo, in the training process, you learn a lot about how things are made, and they show you an entire 2 weeks explaining you, for example, like a scarf, how it's made, all the different separations. So you really get an idea of like how well things can be made. And so whenever you look at something else, you can't look at it the same way. You're always stripping it apart. And so you have an appreciation for better quality product, right?
Right.
So I after Fairground, I worked at different places, at Nautica, Coach, a few other brands. But when I was pregnant with Augustia, I kind of left the fashion industry. I actually went to go see this man I had seen on YouTube when YouTube was sort of all new, and no one knew about shoemaking. And he said, "Okay, fine, you can come here. You can be my apprentice. Here's the PayPal." And I okay, I will do all of this. And Hungary winter, and a little bit here is of course Marcel, you know,
Marshall. Yeah, yeah.
who
Wait, which year did you go?
this is 2009, 2010, I think,
Wow.
2010, winter, dead of winter.
Wow.
This is when Marcel had a lot of hair. And he had his motorcycles. And he was teaching, I think, karate on the weekends to kids, and he was just dating Yaya. So
Yeah.
Yaya would show up, you know, very glamorous at the studio, and
Uh-huh.
Marcel telling us what to do. So
Right.
that was my apprenticeship with him in Hungary in Budapest,
How long
and
did
it
you
was
go for?
good. I think I was there altogether in Budapest for 5 or 6 weeks, but it was weekdays became weekends. The days sort of never ended. We would take a bus, and then my friend and I, Daniela, would walk through the snow to his workshop, which is quite a ways away from the bus stop. But you know, he was definitely a tough teacher, as you know, as a lot of people know. But he's a perfectionist, you know. So I, from him, I enjoyed learning from someone who was very meticulous, very careful, doesn't take any, not mistakes, but he really likes things to be done the best they can be done. You know, he expects a lot from people. So that was that. And then I, a kid, which is Augustine, and a couple of years later, I met you. I was looking for someone, and that's how we connected because I connected through Youth Space, who worked at Kids, and he said, there's a woman who has a space in Brooklyn, which is amazing. So that's how I connected with you. And then the best part was, you remember, I walked in and I said, I think I walked in with Agustia because I am home boy. You said, yeah, you can bring him. I said, okay, so here.
Oh.
I'll come here because you said I can bring my little boy here and he can hang up. And you just said, just Ritika, make sure he's, you know, I don't want
Yeah.
just make sure you think, you know, to watch for him. But you know,
Yeah, yeah. He
he
was
never,
okay. He
yeah,
likes to watch and he likes to do things. It's
yeah.
nice.
And he would sit
Yeah.
at that big couch that you had in the old
Yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah. He wasn't like turning on the bandsaw and putting your finger in
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah. He was
Yeah,
always
no.
very interested, and he loved Miss
Yeah.
Keiko, Miss Keiko. And I
And he
love,
loves shoes. That's amazing. He
he
loves
loves,
all your shoes that you make, which is
he,
fantastic. That didn't happen to my child.
well,
He-
I'm sure, you know, I'm sure that'll happen maybe one day. But yeah, Augustine loves shoes. And you remember he would ask Miss Keiko, can I please have a hammer? When he could speak and verbalize, or Mama, can I ask Miss Keiko for some nails? You know,
yeah,
so he grew up in the space and he knows all,
yeah. All the shoemaking terms. That's
yeah.
cool.
Plus he knows
What's your
shoemakers.
What's your favorite tool that you can't live without, that you feel like it translates between your adult shoes work as well as your children's shoes work, like that you use?
I think, honestly, I mean, the four styles that I do for the, let's say, they're a lot, um, obviously that requires needle, but I think the lasting pliers, anybody will say, maker will say, that is really the most important thing
Yeah,
because you take flat pieces of leather and all of a sudden those are transformed by your own hand. You know, you see it when
that's
you
our
start,
favorite.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know, it's like magical, right? We've had students before and it's a
that's the
magic,
fun part.
yeah, because it goes from this sort of flat thing that you've sewn and you're wondering like, what is this? And all of a sudden you start putting it over the last and then you start putting the nails and you start stretching it with all your, you know, with
Yeah,
with your strength and making sure it doesn't pull the way. And then all of a sudden when you get it over the curve of the toe, all of a sudden it looks like a real foot, a real
that's true.
shoe,
Yeah, it's
you know.
fun step.
Yep. So I think that's what everybody loves. And I think that's like the greatest tool ever because that's the thing that makes it become real,
Right.
right? I mean, what
Yeah,
about you?
yeah. For me, I actually love this like Japanese rasp. I'm proud of that. I think you have it too. You got one from me. No, the handmade rasp.
I don't
The one
remember.
it's like a handmade rasp. It's the maker doesn't the maker retired, So now they don't have it anymore, but all the teeth are not like lined up. It's like, it's all handmade.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
right. A lot of Marcel's tools that I
yeah,
purchased in Budapest 10 years ago, they're still amazing because they were
great.
handled by like these elderly men who were still alive at that point. And
Do you still use it?
I do use them. I mean, my tools are like my treasure. You know, no one's allowed to touch those. Uh, Auguste comes around and tries to play with some of my tools,
Yeah,
but he knows to be careful.
yeah.
Uh, you know, I think once I have like an actual studio space where I can put everything up nicely.
Sorry. Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure.
I have friends who are helped me move. Are gonna. I know we're not supposed to, but we did it anyway. We're like family, right? Thank you so much for the help. I'll call and keep in touch. Okay. Sorry, I just had to let them go. They came to help
I
me
feel like
move into the truck.
I feel like we
Um,
moved there, and now I don't know. It's a change, I guess.
yes, it is a change,
You know,
but I'm looking forward to seeing your studio come together. So once your studio's together, like, no, let's do like a little studio tour or something. Because
well,
you got everything. You got clickers. I think actually
I have your clicker.
you have you
I
create a factory up there.
no, no, not a factory, but you know what? I was going to same thing I sent in my letter to everybody at the shoe space. I think, I mean, I will have electricity hopefully connected by Central Hudson. So if you're listening, please do that. We got the face converter for that clicker. You know, I have that amazing Skyver that I also got from you. So I have some great machines that I really needed. And so I think once the electricity is hooked up, which should be in another week or two, it's going to be a beautiful space. As I've said, if you need to spend the night and do some work, totally welcome to do so. I mean, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
What kind of styles do you love to make? Like, do you like the children's shoes, you know, for Brooklyn Bebe, or do you like your own? Do you like men? Do you like women's? You do kind of have a lot of different.
I do make a lot, you know, shoes for myself, obviously, because I am a woman. But I think my favorite style of shoes is always men's fashion shoe or men's style, men's shoes.
Okay.
Classic shoes. You've seen me. I mean, my favorite from the beginning has always been the Holka, which is part of the Brooklyn Bebe brand, right? And just because it's beautiful, it's sleek, and I think because I saw Marcel do it, he did the true at his studio. He had done a beautiful Holka with no seams, no,
Yeah.
all one piece without any of that. And he wouldn't tell me at that time. I said, Marcel, please tell me. He's like, no, no, no. And he would say no. He said, you don't, it's one day, no. And so it was always a no. So I've been obsessed with the whole cut for my entire career because I think it's beautiful. Obviously, it's not doable for children's shoes in that particular way, you know, a no seam shoe. But I think the one that I have in the back seam is the one I love. I think it looks great. I think it's durable because it doesn't have so many different pieces to it. I think it just is very attractive, even for children. And what I love is the fact that you know, you can put different types of soles on it, and it still looks great. You've seen it before, right? You've seen it in different iterations, in a kind of a sneaker form, and like the classic sort of, you know, more the classic style children's shoe with the formal leather soles or the rubber crepe soles. But it looks great in like different, you know, different formats, and I think that's the why it's such a favorite of mine. But you know, I love children's shoes. I love the kids.
Yeah.
They're just so they're unpredictable in what they will say. They're
Yeah.
very right, and they don't give you false hopes or false compliments. So that's when I've been sort of like the fun things, you know, like doing the measuring with Zoom, or I'll say, hey, what do you think of this thread or this color? Like, no, I don't like it. Or can you show me that purple again? Can you describe it? I said, it's purplish pink. And they'll say, no, no, no. Can you describe what it looks like? So then Auguste will jump in and say, okay, this is what this thread really looks like. And he'll describe it to, like, you know, like whoever the kid is. So I really, you know, I've always liked working with kids. I think I think there's like a certain joy with this, with working with children or being around children, especially now when, you know, we feel a lot of hopelessness internally that we don't verbalize necessarily. And the chaos that's in our minds that we can't verbalize to our families or to anyone else, just, that stays with us at night when you can't sleep because you're wondering what's going to happen next, where will this end in so many ways for us. So I think for me, these last 6 or 7 weeks, just being able to sort of Zoom call with the kids, dropping off has been really something that has been life affirming. And they're young, they realize it at a certain level, but they also don't realize it the way adults are seeing all of this through our eyes. So I think that's what I think is what I really love about the kids' shoes and the way I make them. And I make them in a, I make them in a formal way, the way sort of you would make men's shoes. I do it exactly, or traditional shoes, the same way.
Custom a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Custom, sorry?
How old are your children? How old is Agustia?
He is 8 now.
8 now. Wow. Yeah, so he's 8. So you feel like working directly with the children is so much fun. Would you do something like a ready-to-wear line for your bebe shoes, or would it be more like you have your samples and then kids can pick and choose a colorway, and you have a size around it, so you can make something for them specifically, kind of? Is that kind of
a combination? I think it's going to be probably a hybrid. Right now, it's kind of like you can pick and choose. But it's not, but there'll be certain styles, let's say, that that'll just sort of be my things. I've done work with indigo because of course that was something that was used in Japan, used in India, and they still use a lot of that in leather. That's something I remember going to the markets in India, in Calcutta specifically, and seeing a lot of the block prints, the indigo work on leather at that time. And I remember that as a small 4 and 5-year-old, I was fascinated by all of it. So I've done some of that with some of my shoes. Obviously, there's a little bit of the factor where it does come off. But that's, it's like wearing a pair of brand new indigo denim jeans. The color will wear off. I like all the painting aspect of it, which you guys have seen before. But I just enjoy the whole creative aspect and the creative process that goes behind all of it.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, all the stresses that I have as an adult person kind of goes away when I'm making, and especially when it's like little tiny cute little adorable little feet, they're so sweet. That you're a baby. Right? Yours feet are so cute. I need to make something for her actually.
Oh, for her, yeah, I need to.
I'm gonna send her something. You tell me what or I'll just make it up and you'll just get it.
Thank you. We'll see. I don't know. Well, I would be super happy with any of your shoes. Are a super fun color. I love the color combos you always pick.
It's my Indian color combination.
Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? What do you want to be doing? Your ideal.
Having this studio set up, maybe having people who are makers just drop in if they need to use the space, they can. I just want it to be a place where anyone can come in and sort of drop in and see what's going on. And I always felt very strongly about Made in America. That. I think being a child of immigrants, coming to America as a small child, and when I lived in India, when I was very young, I would get these amazing gifts. Not a lot of gifts, but a few gifts, but they would come from England, made in England. And I always say, your aunt sent this specially from registered post. It's come through Calcutta. And so I always cherished those things. And I remember how well they were made. I still have a lot of those things left at my mom and dad's house. But I remember how well things were made. And I think the idea of making things well is definitely alive and available in this country. So I hope that people will buy less, will buy better from bakers like you, from me, from Lauren Bankers, from Lorna, from all of us who work really, really hard.
Right.
And we don't have the access to these massive machinery, of 10,000 pieces of that or 10,000 pieces of eyelet or, 1,000 yards of this sample.
Right. And the labor is so low. You're doing it now, so.
Yeah, the labor is there too because, the minimum wage is $15 in New York State, right? And that's going to go up no matter what. So you and I and other makers really don't pay ourselves a living wage when doing this. But I think maybe this will be a change.
Yeah.
For people to, realize that For example, I can't get things right now from overseas, from India to get some personal packages. All the personal packages have been sort of stopped by FedEx because the whole country is closed. I can't send things to my family in India and vice versa. So it definitely makes you realize more, but I think it'll make the general country realize, like, you know what? There are some amazing people here. Let's make things with them. Let's pay them what they deserve, because we spend a lot of money to buy small quantities from people who value quality. Those are the people who supply us with raw materials. Other makers that may give us some things, people who make our brass dies, right, to stamp something. So I think it's important to support the people that we work with, and in turn, the people who buy from us, they need to realize the really cost of all of the final goods is not just the price tag; it's everything else. You know.
Right. Yeah, I look forward. I look forward to seeing your creations. I think, now you're ready.
I'm ready. You, but you're nearby.
Huh?
I said I'm going to miss you guys, but you're very near.
Yeah, you are near. So it's summertime. Let's meet up.
Let's meet up, and anyone who's a maker in the Hudson Valley or Brooklyn in the New York City area, if you want to stop by, maybe we can all come together here at the space.
I think what we're gonna miss most are the people. Like we're gonna miss everybody.
I know. Lord.
We'll all come back. We'll do something else, and we'll be here. I think we'll be back. It's not the end.
I think it's a beginning for all of us, and I think it's a better beginning for the country, and for I think a realization for a lot of people in this world that things have to change, and then look at the world in fresh ways and different ways, and maybe buy less things, buy better things, and you don't need to have so much. We've realized that during this, right?
Yeah.
You don't need everything.
No, you don't need everything.
Yeah. You need family, you need friends, you need to have a few good things, but you don't need to have everything in the world. It's not important,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Oh, Sarah says, great conversation. You articulate things we all think about so well. Yeah, Sarah, yeah, she does.
Well,
I always say like a very generic, like abstract thing, and you actually make it into a very very well explained, like, sentence for me.
now you're gonna
Whenever you're like on the sideline at the class, I'm like, yeah, you understand what I'm saying, and you're like always like telling me, yeah. I'm like, thank you. Anyway.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, but yeah, we're gonna do it again. We'll have more time when we get a new space. Yeah. Thank you for your time. Now you're making me cry. Yeah, thank you for taking your time. Wait, I'll show you, everybody.
I want to say hi to everybody. Let's see. Is that
Yes.
Is that Bonnie? I can't see anyone with the masks on. And Yuji. Well,
No, we're supposed to wear masks, so we're all wearing masks.
Well, Yuji's a badass as always. I can see that.
Yes, and it's his birthday today.
Complex. That was great, by the way.
Still here? No.
What?
Custom already left. So I told her about it, and she said, I'll bring it with me.
Well, it's okay. You know what? The space was an amazing. It'll always live on in our minds.
Yes.
Live on beyond
Yes.
the physical part of it. I think you're going to continue what you do, and maybe this is a way for you to spend time with Kira a little bit.
Yeah, for the summer. Yeah.
That's
the plan. It's my sabbatical, but it's okay. It's not,
yeah.
it's not the end.
Sorry about the moving camera, but I think it's it's like a forced sabbatical for all of us, and reset. And I think it'll be better for all of us. I think it's wonderful. We can all.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. So come fall. Whenever you have all your products out, or like anything happening, just shoot us an email and let us know.
Well, I will, and I was gonna say our hanger just got electricity. I just got a little text. Our hanger
okay.
So I'm gonna offer that to all the makers if they want to come and like do a pop up. No, there's no charge for it, because I've seen like how expensive those are on the weekends. Those weekends are expensive. So that was also one of my project ideas, was to have a place for makers to come, show off their stuff, and make some money, and not worry about like fees and this and that. So that's something that Costa and I are working on as well. So like a rotating space for people. So
Right.
just want to everyone knows that you've been you've been a great friend. You've been like the mother of the shoemaking. At least
The little Brooklyn little house. Yeah, no, thank you so
beyond.
much. Well, it's not the end. It's only
It's
the
something.
beginning. So it's only a process, I guess. So thank you. Thank
Is
you for
that
taking your time.
You need the parent fees.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I think he has to move the truck.
Oh, is that Ilya running away?
Yeah.
Is that the police?
No, I don't think so.
The ticketing. Do you remember that? I'm gonna miss all the thing to see who's gonna take the traffic
Yeah, it was hard to find
cops
parking
of
spots.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. They're not working right now, though.
Really?
Even though, yeah, no, I don't see anybody moving their cars. I don't know why. I think they started this week, they said, but yeah, nobody.
Oh, look, I was gonna show you.
Anyway.
Do you remember I started this?
Yeah. Ooh, what is this one? Oh, you finished your, oh, cute.
This is like Costa's gift. Remember, started making this
Yeah.
from last year. Yeah. So
Oh, wait, are you done?
I'm done. Yeah,
Does he wear it?
he's going to
Does he
wear.
wear that?
He's like very formal style.
Mhm.
But I think he liked the shoes a lot, and so I think
Oh,
he's
good.
we're
Good.
ready to wear. There's nowhere to wear. So I'll just have up and down walking around on the garden, maybe
No, you have to wear it tonight.
a date night. I'll do date night for you guys. You guys go out and I'll watch the baby. So cute. I could eat her little feet. They're so chubby. Oh, love that girl.
Yes, she is super chubby.
Well, I know you have to move. You have to move cars. You have to probably drive upstate, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say goodbye to the space,
Yes.
but I will see you.
Yeah. But we'll see you in the summer.
We will see you in the summer. Say bye to everybody. Lots of love.
I'm posting some shoes, okay?
I shall. Okay.
Sounds
Bye-bye.
good. Bye.
Bye, guys.
That's true. They literally.
Everybody says bye.
This piece is like
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Sorry, it's been a little, a lot of activity, and I'm not settled, but this is my life, I guess. Thank you for watching. Bye.